I speak to you in the name of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Amen. Some lovely thoughts about wisdom in our Old Testament reading and developed in our song. And that's really where my reflections are going to be focused this morning. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about Proverbs and wisdom literature, and then I'm going to just finish up by talking about New Testament readings, which are specific examples of wisdom teaching in a more developed way. So we'll start back in the Old Testament. This is a genre of writing called wisdom literature. It was common to the ancient Near East. The book of Proverbs is by no means unique. The other Semitic ancient Near Eastern cultures have their own collections. And the notion of proverbs and of sayings and wisdom in that ancient world had a very common sense meaning. And I remember learning about it in seminary. It was a very academic idea. And I learned the book of Proverbs started by, now listen, my son, and I will tell you these things. And I thought, oh, that's a nice little literary format. But now that I'm a 50-year-old dad, I totally get it. I've had 50-some years of experience in doing things wrong. I want to tell my son not to make the mistakes I made. And of course, he's gonna, but I'm going to tell him anyway, because you need to know these things, and when you're ready to hear them, then they'll be there for you. So, and it's just life, just stuff about life. And the Proverbs include all those basic stuff about life as well as, spiritual principles. But there's also like, don't try and straighten a bent nail, it's not going to work. Like just really practical stuff that you learn through experience, and no matter how clever you might be, this is the wisdom that I've accumulated in my life, and I want you to know so that you're ahead of where I was. And that's very much the spirit of that book of Proverbs. And I encourage you to read it. It's a really fascinating book about the collected ancient wisdom for their young people. And knowledge and being learned in those days was to collect these sayings. I mean, it's practical knowledge. And so if you wanted to be accounted wise in that culture, you would accumulate these sayings. So it's not just your life experience, but the collective life experience of your culture. And so so-and-so had this great thing. I heard him say that. That's good. I'm going to write that down. And I'm going to collect that as a saying. And then I've got this collection of sayings that I will share to anyone who will listen. And eventually they become codified, and ours got codified in the book of Proverbs. And so you have this very holistic, common sense understanding of wisdom, which is from everything, from absolutely most practical to the common sense advice about your reputation, all the way to spiritual principles. And so you have this notion that if you live by these principles, you will prosper. So this morning's reading is a cautionary tale that wisdom becomes personified. I missed that bit. That wisdom becomes symbolized by this spiritual female being who is the Lady Wisdom, Sophia. And this is personified. So wisdom is infused through all creation and was there with God at the beginning, and in some sense is an emanation of God. And so when you seek wisdom in that very common sense life, practical and spiritual knowledge way, you are pursuing this lady. You're pursuing, you have this love for this person of wisdom. And so in our scriptures we have this feminine personification of wisdom. And so the cautionary note this morning is how wisdom says nobody listens to me, and then you get in trouble, and then I'm going to laugh so hard at you because you're going to come looking for me then, and you will not be able to hear me. And this is, again, common sense, practical knowledge. You try and teach your kids, they have good habits, you do this, you do that, and you will do well, and you won't have calamities. And if they don't listen to you, then all of a sudden the calamity hits, and they go, well, I need to fix it. Well, it's a little late now. You can't fix it. Maybe you can mitigate it, maybe do something. But if you had listened earlier, then we wouldn't be in this situation, would we? Ha, ha, ha. And that attitude is precisely what comes out of the Old Testament. If you'd only listened to me, you wouldn't be in this predicament. Ha, ha, ha. Now, next time, listen to me when I tell you something. And that's very much the attitude of this Old Testament. And it is that very practical, common sense way. And so the book of Proverbs is given to the Hebrew people as just pay attention to this stuff. If you listen to this, you You will be prosperous. You will be happy and healthy and wealthy and wise, and all will go well for you. And that's very much the tradition of ancient wisdom. And it holds true to this day, as you can see in terms of my own reflections on parenthood. And there, of course, there are things that my dad told me when I was young and I didn't listen and I should have. There's all that natural parenting wisdom that the previous generation is trying to share the wisdom with the younger generations, and the younger generation is not getting it. There's always that dynamic. There's also that dynamic in the broader social situation where I can't help but think of the climate crisis in these terms. If we are to be wise, if we are to pay attention to what the earth is trying to tell us and listen to the people who have given their lives to the study of these patterns of weather and geology and all these kinds of things, if we pay attention now, then maybe we will be able to prosper in the future. And if we don't pay that attention now and calamity comes upon us, at that point it will be too late. And we'll go looking for wisdom, and wisdom will be laughing at us rather than being there to help us when we need her. So I cannot help but think of that context in terms of this Old Testament reading and that cautionary note. Now moving on to the New Testament, James is a nugget of wisdom that, again, is something that needs to be told. Be aware of this stuff, otherwise it will bite you. And he's talking about the tongue, the small member that can set a blaze of fire, and set a whole fire blaze. And I say, James, you ain't never heard of Twitter. You can set the world on fire with a tweet now. And so this admonition from James about watch what you say, right? Being even more valuable wisdom. And again here I want to take another little sidebar and talk about the difference between wisdom and intelligence. When I was in law school, I had a conversation with a fellow student at the time, also an active practicing Christian. And both of us were really struggling with the ethical questions and so forth, and what does it mean to be a good lawyer, and how do you live up your Christian values in that context. And we were working our way through that. And she had this insight that I've carried with me to this day, which is that the kind of intelligence that is developed in the legal environment, the best word for it is cleverness. And so you become very, very clever. And yes, it's intelligence, and it's smart, but it's not what either she or I were really interested in. We weren't interested in being as clever as we could be. We were interested in what was true and right and good and beautiful. And so the difference between being clever and being wise is stark. And so some of the most intelligent people can at the same time be the most foolish. And I've had moments in my life where I say, Chris, you're smarter than that, but the problem is being smart is not the question. It's what to pay attention to. It's not knowing everything about everything. It's knowing what's important. And so when you are focused on what's important, you realize when it comes to talk, you don't just talk all the time. Sometimes it's more important to not talk and to stop talking. And so there, we all have funny anecdotes about the person who forgot to stop talking. But there it is. So the tongue that sets fires ablaze, that admonition is particularly relevant. And I think of course, the monastic tradition of silence, where it's not about, we all want to be mimes. That's not the point. The point is an attitude to communication, where if it's not true, if it's not good, if it's not beautiful, if it is not in service of what the Lord's will is, don't say it. And when you are really honest about all the words that come out of your mouth, how many of them really are in service of the kingdom of God? And so if you go, okay, if I cut out all of that, what's left? Not a whole lot, right? Which is the monastic understanding of silence and communication. That's why they're quiet, because most of what we do is blah, 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 blah. And often it's just about puffing ourselves up, and we're not even aware of it. We meet someone and say, what do you do? Oh, I do this. What do you do? I do that. Oh, I know that guy. That Nick Cage was at our church. And it's just this unconscious self-puffery, ego service, and it's just blah, 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 blah. And it doesn't do anything good. So if we're going to listen to James, you shut up. And then if something is worth saying, say that. And only say that. Only say things that are worth saying. And so we have a word of wisdom from James about speech, the power of speech, and the incredible destructive potential of speech. And that last point about fresh and brackish water is also very interesting. James has this image of a stream, and no stream produces both good and bad water. And so if your mouth is the stream, the point is that the bad contaminates the good. So you can say all the right things, but if at other points in your life you are spewing toxins, they infect even the good things you say. So keep it clean. Anglicans. Third lesson, the gospel. This is a higher order of wisdom because it is not common sense, it's actually counterintuitive. Whoever would save their life must lose it. Whoever wants to save their life will lose it. And whoever loses their life for the sake of me and the gospel will save it. Right? It's the topsy-turvy kingdom of God, where everything is opposite and upside down. Right? It's counterintuitive. It doesn't make sense. And yet it is wisdom. And it's given to us from our spiritual forebears because it's important and we need to know it. And it's tied to that little ego point about talking. That when the contrasting idea of life and life, in this case, it's the same word, but it's meant in two different ways. That when you're seeking wealth, riches, success, that's trying to save your life. That's trying to advance your life. And when you are consumed by worldly success, you lose your life. You lose what's worth living for. And when you lose your life, when you abandon your self-centeredness for the sake of Jesus and the gospel, for the sake of God's purposes, for the kingdom of God, then as a byproduct, you discover yourself. You discover a life worth living. And that is truer than anything I know. That a life that is full of comfort and ease and luxury and wealth, it is nothing by itself. A life that is in the service of things that are worthwhile and making a difference is the life that is the greatest life of all. It is the true richest life. And I feel this personally. When I was a 20-something-year-old who had left law school and gone into seminary, I wore that a bit like a badge. Aren't I great? Leaving this great, lucrative, secular profession for the Lord's work, right? From this side of my life experience, I just made the smart choice. I'm happier. I don't work a day in my life. I get up and I do stuff that I care about. I'm surrounded by people that I love and that love me. I'm the richest man on earth because I'm living a life that means something, at least to me. I feel like there's a reason to get up in the morning and that I'm making a difference, even when I feel like banging my head against the wall because that meeting just went on for another 3 hours. Even then, in the big picture, I feel like I'm engaged in stuff that matters. And that could not be more contrasted with my little experience of what I would have been involved in as a lawyer. Not picking on lawyers, not picking the important job. And some people are constitutionally suited for that, and it's valuable. I'm 100% a believer of the rule of law as opposed to the rule of tyrants, which means you need lawyers, and you need good lawyers. So, love the lawyers. It wasn't right for me. And if I were a lawyer just because it was a prestigious profession and was lucrative, that would have been the true emptiness of my life. But if my legal life would not have expressed something about the meaning and purpose of what I was trying to accomplish that was in line with God's kingdom, then it would have been empty and it would have been a living death. So whoever tries to save their life ultimately loses it. Whoever loses their life for the sake of the gospel and for Jesus ultimately saves it. And that for me is the highest wisdom that I would love to impart to my children and to my children's children, because ultimately that makes the difference of one kind of world and another kind of world. And we look at the world, you see which way it's going, and you say there's a better way. And if if we could just collect around that better way, everything would be better. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.